I kind of love it. And I got to a point where I was full. I didn't have room for more clients, which was where I always had wanted to be. And then I was kind of like, well, wait, what's next? If I got to where I wanted to be, and having that goal was so inspiring and it helped me make choices. What's the next thing I want to work toward? And that was being able to um, help nurture the next generation of therapists, like so other people that were going through their training, and to make sure they didn't have to work for free, right? To actually pay them to do that work
Yeah.
and to be able to offer healthcare benefits. And
Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that have shaped their lives, inviting us all to reflect and grow together. Today we're joined by Laurel Roberts-Meese, a compassionate trauma therapist with over a decade of experience guiding high achievers through their healing journeys. As the founder of Laurel Therapy Collective, she is dedicated to helping others find hope and empowerment in their lives. Let's take a moment to step into Laurel's world and discover the wisdom that has inspired her along the way. Okay. Tell me your name and what you do.
yeah, my name is Laurel Roberts-Meese. I'm a licensed therapist. I work with a lot of people recovering from trauma or who are going through really tough transitions in their life. And I love what I do.
I like that. I love what I do. So, do you love what you do?
Mhm.
Well, are we on camera? No, no, no. I can't say that. My boss is going to fire me if I say that I don't know what I do. Uh, yeah, it's a
I'm
privileged
my
place
own
to be.
boss,
Yeah,
so no, I don't get any points for saying I love what I do.
yeah,
I'm
yeah. Okay. What's your favorite quote?
the one that comes to mind is, may the space between where you are and where you want to be inspire you.
I need it to just sink in. Wow.
Hmm.
May the space between where you are and where you want to be inspire. What does that mean?
For me, it just creates like a sense of breath and like, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but this is it's the glass half full. It's an opportunity. Okay, how do I make a plan to get to where I want to be? How do I operationalize that plan? And how do I dream big in my life, right? How do I um, come up with things that I maybe didn't think were possible 5 or 10 years ago and use that as inspiration to work towards a bigger dream?
May the space. How long have you had this quotes as one of your favorite quotes?
I saw it a few years ago, and my mom is a professional artist, and I asked her to make an art piece for me with this quote on it. And she did, and it was so cute that she even had little jewels that she put around the words. She's a calligrapher, and so this I have this piece of art in my office. And when I'm having a difficult day, or something's frustrating, or just feeling stuck, or feeling like, oh, I'm not where I want to be, remembering that the journey to get there is supposed to be enjoyable as well as the destination. It's the enjoy the journey, right? Because if all we see is "Ugh, I'm not where I want to be," then we don't get to enjoy working towards where you want to be. And sometimes the journey to where you want to be is going through trauma therapy, going through something really hard, something that isn't something we would think of as inspiring. I do trauma therapy for a living, and I think it's very inspiring. I'm inspired by my clients every day. Uh, but sometimes the journey is more enjoyable than healing your trauma, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Would you be kind enough to share some personal instances or cases from your life where that space inspired you?
Yeah. When I was working towards becoming a licensed therapist, it takes a very long time. You have to I did 3 years of graduate school, and then you have to do 3,000 hours of unpaid experience, like doing therapy in a community agency. It's hard work. That it took a very long time to get licensed. And because you don't get paid for, it used to be the case you didn't get paid for your pre-licensed therapy work, I had to work a bunch of other jobs. So there was a time when I was running a music education nonprofit. I was the director of operations for a music education nonprofit. I was a family assistant for a family that I loved, working with that family. I'm still in touch with them. And I was seeing about 25 clients a week.
Wow.
So I had a full-time job, 25 clients a week, and working as a family assistant because I needed to pay my bills, right?
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for burnout to be working that much. I mean, we could talk about, the evils of capitalism all you want, because no one should have to have more than one job to make a living, but many, many people have to have more than one job to make a living. And when I was working that hard and, feeling burnt out, I had this quote, like, okay, this is not where I want to be. I don't want to be working 3 jobs for the rest of my life. I mean, it was actually 4 jobs because I had 2 placements for my hours, for my therapy hours. And okay, so this is not where I want to be. Where do I want to be? I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to just have one job and make a living, and a decent living where, I could take a vacation or two every year and not worry if I had an emergency bill come up. I knew I would be able to cover it. So to live with some comfort and security and the autonomy of making all my own choices, right? Okay, so I knew that's where I wanted to be. How did I work towards that, right? And it was every day making choices towards, okay, I know that I'm going to need to rent my own office. What's that going to look like? And I started out just subletting an office. So, like 1 day a week, borrowing an office space from another therapist, and eventually building up my practice until I didn't have to have another job. I didn't have to work for anyone else. It was just doing what I had always wanted to do. Right. And now I am very happy with my work-life balance. I'm not burnt out. I don't have to have 3 jobs to pay my bills. And it also took a lot of time and work and luck and privilege to get there.
Yeah. Oh,
But having the vision is really important. And then every day to take steps toward that vision to make it happen.
oh. Thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you're there right now.
I kind of love it. And I got to a point where I was full. I didn't have room for more clients, which was where I always had wanted to be. And then I was kind of like, well, wait, what's next? If I got to where I wanted to be, and having that goal was so inspiring and it helped me make choices, what's the next thing I want to work toward? And that was being able to um, help nurture the next generation of therapists, like so other people that were going through their training, and to make sure they didn't have to work for free, right? To actually pay them to do that work,
Yeah.
and to be able to offer healthcare benefits, and to so that they don't have to work as hard as I had to work just to get their license, right? So I started a group practice. So I hired therapists in training, and they're now, in my little tiny company. And I would like to grow that. So the space between where I am now and where I would like to be is I would like to keep training other therapists and giving them the opportunity that I didn't have because people weren't paid for their training hours back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
And to build community around it. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. So, if I understand you correctly, that is the space for you right now.
Yeah. And I've got 2 other therapists on my team. And I would like to probably get to like 8 to 10, but not bigger than that, because I don't want to run a giant therapy company. I don't want to be the boss to a whole bunch of people. That's a lot of
Uh,
work. I want to keep it personal, right?
yeah.
And
I mean,
Yeah.
if you get to 10, you might say, well, 2 is not going to kill anybody. We might just add 2. Now we are at 12. Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join. Or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation. Anyway, like, we could add an extra 2. Before you know, we are like
Yeah.
50, and they're like extra 2 stress. That's how those companies become really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
just one. It's just one. It's just one person. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that big of a deal. And now you're like
Yeah.
having a team of 100 therapists that you have to manage, and then you realize that you're not actually doing. There's no time you actually spend doing therapy work. You're actually doing
I
the work of
know.
a CEO. You know, you're managing,
Yeah.
looking at expenses and all that. And like, oh, when last did I do
Yeah.
therapy? I can't
Yeah.
remember. uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, but I might decide that's not where I want to go, that I really want to focus on nurturing the talent of a handful of people rather than managing the company, right? But we'll see where I am in a few years. Right now, it's like I want to have a small but mighty team. That
yeah.
feels really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you shared the quote and you said, let it inspire you, because most of the times when people look at where they are and they look at where they want to go, it
Mm-hmm.
overwhelms them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It overwhelms them because they see all the steps at once and like, oh God, I can't possibly do all those steps. But you only ever really do one step at a time, you know? It was, okay, I got my first client. Great. I have an office 1 day a week. And then, okay, now I need to find an office I can use 2 days a week, right? It's not, oh, I need to rent a 5 office suite in the exact perfect location and I need to have a an employee handbook and I need to have, a payroll service and I need to have a benefits administrator. Like you can't do that all in 1 day. You just make decisions every day towards the thing that you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
You just make decisions every day towards the things you want, right? And it's most of the times, right? Especially for the younger
Hmm.
people. Why do I keep saying younger people? I'm young.
I'm almost
Ah,
40 and I feel young. I'm gonna be 40 in a few months and
well,
I'm like, yeah, I'm a young person.
okay. Well, but in the context of this conversation, I'm talking about people that just, finishing high school, finishing college, still
Mm.
wondering what they'll do
Mm-hmm.
with their life, right?
Yeah.
They know where they are, right? That
Mm-hmm.
one is very, very clear. But where they want to
Yeah.
be, they have absolutely no idea.
Maybe they don't know the exact career, or maybe they don't know if they want to have kids or, a partner, like marriage, right? But they probably know some things they do want in life. Maybe they don't know what they want to do for a living or if they want kids, but they know that they want to be able to travel a lot. Okay. So then we start looking, what jobs can you do that would allow you to travel a lot?
Wow. Huh.
Or, or let's say you know that the most important thing to you is having a family. Okay, then you make choices that are conducive to being able to be really present with that family,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to know all the details if you have the big picture.
Yeah, I like
One
that.
thing that Yeah, one thing I do is every couple months I open up a document that is my 5-year plan, which is like where do I want to be in 5 years? And it's never like, oh, I want to make X dollars or I want to, like it's never super concrete. It's I want to be able to take care of my family whenever they need help. I want to be able to take a nice trip with my spouse every year, and I want to, it's qualitative things. It's kind of like what does my life look and feel like? Not necessarily a dollar amount in the bank or on my paycheck. Um, but it's a quality of life or the things that I value and I want to put them forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. For most of the times, clarity comes with action. Sometimes you don't even know what you're doing, right? But
Mm,
you, I think it's easier to tell what we don't want rather than what we want, right?
yeah. We'll start there. Start there,
Yeah,
right? If you know what you
yeah.
don't want, great. That rules out some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want to work a job that I'm always away from home. For most persons, that's one.
Yeah.
For some persons, like nah. That like every
Yeah.
time they hear a job that involves them leaving home for like maybe 6 months, there's this growl in their stomach. They're like, mm, and
Uh-huh.
they are crystal clear on that they don't want that, and you can then say, okay, I don't want this. Well, I don't know what other kind of jobs I would want, but this one I'm definite about it. This is a definite no. So we can
Yeah.
then work from that to get to definite yes.
Yeah. And I also want to say, obviously I'm coming to this conversation with a good amount of privilege and experience, and I had a lot of opportunities available to me. And it can be really hard when you're in that survival mode, when like you really do need to work 3 or 4 jobs to survive. Like I don't want to dismiss that. And it can be really difficult to get out of that survival mode. And for people listening, if you are in that survival mode, um, maybe it looks like, hey, my dream where I want to be, the space between where I am and where I want to be, is getting out of survival mode and having a little more ease in your life, right? And then from there you can keep dreaming. Okay, how do I have even more ease? Maybe someday I'll only have to work one job, right? Step by step.
Yeah, I like the
Hmm.
fact. I like what you just did there, and that is for everybody to know that the space between where you are and where you want to be doesn't always have to be the eventual final where you want to be. Like what I mean by
Mm-hmm.
eventual final, like, oh, let's say you're 80, 85, and you're about
Yeah.
to leave this earth, and that's like, it doesn't have to be that final. It could be where you want to be. Like, I mean, the next year, the next
Yeah.
3 months, the next 4 months, right? It could be that
Yeah.
space, right? And the space could keep
Hmm.
moving and will keep moving like the horizon until
Yeah.
eventually we're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
thank you.
just earlier today thinking like, oh, I just became an auntie last year,
Wow,
and
congrats.
thank you. So she's little, and today I was like, I really want to take her to Disneyland someday. Like, I cannot wait to take my little niece to Disneyland and just having it could be one day. But I already am, she's tiny, she's a baby, right? But having this picture of like, I want to take my little niece to Disneyland and just have this beautiful, fun day with her and just have it be, auntie day, and that inspires me. Okay, so what do I need to do to have this Disneyland day happen? I'll save a little bit of money so I can take her to Disneyland. And then I need to make sure her parents trust me and that I will take good care of her and that they're like, yeah, sure, you can
Ah.
take our kid to Disneyland, right?
Yeah,
And also build a relationship with her where she feels comfortable, just coming to visit me and going on a trip with me. So I can do little things until she's old enough to go, that will allow us to have that beautiful day. So sometimes the dream is a day. If you can picture your ideal day, maybe it's not what your whole year looks like, but maybe it's your ideal day. Your ideal day is um, I get a break from my kids for a day and I just go get to read my, I get to read these mystery novels that I've loved my whole life. I get to lay in a hammock with some iced tea and read a mystery novel. And that's my
yeah,
ideal day. Okay, how are we going to get you to that hammock reading that mystery novel? Right? They can be small things too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Laura, for sharing your favorite quotes and just having an absolute um nice conversation with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, yeah, and for sharing. Yeah. what do you do and where can people learn more about you and what you do?
Yeah. So I'm a trauma therapist, and if you are interested in what that looks like and what trauma therapy is, my website is laureltherapy.net.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Relatable Wisdom. If you found something meaningful in this episode, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that by buying me a coffee. The link is in the show notes. Every little bit keeps the conversations going. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep growing.